I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about this, and I think you get asked about this in every interview all the time, which is the Soup Nazi episode of Seinfeld. You wrote that episode.
I did.
That is based on, absolutely. That is based on, I think, of someone in the city, right?
Yeah, Al Yeager, the real Soup Nazi. There's a real Soup Nazi.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you talk about writing that episode, or even just writing on Seinfeld if you want a little bit?
Well, that episode, I mean, most of writing for Seinfeld was stories from my real life, and that's what I loved about doing it, because I don't know, I just don't feel like I'm that good of a writer, but on Seinfeld, Larry and Jerry said, look, we don't want you to write stories, we want you to come in and tell stories. Little things that may have happened at a party, or something that went on, or something about New York. And then we'll see if we can turn it into an episode. The Soup Nazi was a real guy we used to get lunch at when we were writing for Letterman. That's where we went in the winter. We'd walk down the street. This writer, Dave Hansen, told me about it and said, you know, if you're going to come here and you're going to get soup, there's a way to order it. And if you don't, he's going to take the soup away. And I just said, what the fuck are you talking about? I can order soup. And he's like, not like this. And I went like that. And that first time I went, I didn't order right, and he took the soup away. I went, what is going on? And I said, let me try that soup. And I tried the soup, and I go, God, this is good. I gotta, how do I do it again? The next day, I did it right. And after that, I was a Soup Nazi follower. So now flash forward a bunch of years to my first pitch session at Seinfeld. And I'm sitting with Larry and Jerry in a room. You had to walk in by yourself and pitch them, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12, one or two top-line ideas, right?
Is this to get the job, or what, when you have the
No,
job?
I've already got the job, and I've already gone through this once officially. Actually, twice. The first year I didn't get hired. They only had one spot, so the second year I did it again with Larry. But it's kind of a bigger version pitch because both Larry and Jerry are there, and you're by yourself, and the writers have told me, look, if the two of them start laughing really hard, you'll know you've sold the story. Not literally sold, you're already on staff, but you'll know you have an episode to write, and that's what you're trying to do. So I walked through a bunch of stuff that got kind of a tepid response, right? And I'm like, you know, now as I'm getting to the bottom, I'm like, there's less and less time here to get an idea on this show, and I'm getting really sweaty. And the last one, they're like, oh, that's kind of good. I don't remember the idea, but it's like, well, maybe we'll make that your first episode, right? And I'm really like, oh, I've stunk up the place. And then I just started babbling nervously. I just said, well, they were like, so how's New York? And I'm like, oh, it's great. You know, I don't know. The one thing I miss is this guy, the Soup Nazi. And Larry just cracks up. It's like, the Soup Nazi? What's the Soup Nazi? And I go, it's this ridiculous guy that sells soup and yells at people. He's kind of a misogynist, hates women, but his soup is fantastic, so everybody puts up with it. Now they're both laughing. They go, well, what does he do? And so, you know, I walk them through the whole thing. I go, you have to stand in front of the guy, order the soup, no extraneous conversation, immediately hold out your money and step to the left. And they're rolling and they're laughing, and they say, or if you don't do that, he says no soup for you and takes away your soup. And they start laughing really hard. They go, there's your episode. Get out. And I walked out of the room completely confused because I wasn't pitching. The writers pat me on the back. Great job. Great job. You sounds like you sold an episode. I go, yes, but about what? I have no idea. No clue. I was just telling them a story about...
A show about nothing, you know?
It was. I've since gone back and looked at those ideas for that first pitch, and the Little Kicks was on it as well.
Which one?
So the Little Kicks, where Elaine dances.
Oh, yes, yes.
That was on there, and I believe the Muffin Tops was on that first pitch. But I had to drive those two through on my own after Larry left. Larry was gatekeeping the Little Kicks. He didn't like that one. He kept swatting it away. He didn't believe it, but...